So it's rumoured that AJ Dubois 2 might be in February because there's a slot for Riyadh season that has got no headline act on it so far. What are my thoughts on the rematch? Well, part of me is like, you know what? Maybe Joshua should take it because imagine he comes back and beats Dubois. Can you imagine it? Like, it would be pretty crazy, right? But I'll say very aware that taking a beating like he did against Dubois can seriously affect you mentally, you know? Everyone was saying for years that he hasn't been the same since the Andy Ruiz loss. Well, this loss was about 10 times worse. The Andy Ruiz fight was at least competitive for the first few rounds. AJ dropped Ruiz, and he got stopped standing. He wasn't knocked out, but this fight wasn't competitive, was it? He had, the one shot that knocked the bra a little bit just before he got knocked out? So a rematch concerns, like, my main feeling when I think about a rematch is concern. I think one of the main reasons for that is, I look at the career of Joyce. People forget how good Joyce was. A prime Joyce was an absolute nightmare. He would walk through your shots like they were nothing. He could hit hard and he'd just keep putting it on you. But then, he came across Big Bang Zile Zhang, and his career has not been the same since. The first fight, it ended on cuts, but the second fight, he got wiped out in a very similar way that AJ got wiped out against Dubois, and he just has not been the same since. He dropped down a level to beat Cash, but even in that fight, he didn't look great. He did get the stoppage, but he was taking so many right hands. I was thinking, if you step up to world level, you're going to get found out here. And that's what happened. You know, he fought Derek Chisora, who lost. He's lost, quite a few times. But being in there with lots of experienced guys, he got knocked down and dropped the fight. And I think we need to accept that this could happen to AJ. A lot of people like to think that AJ is invincible. We look at him, he looks like a Greek god. He's the face of British boxing. He's so good for the sport. He makes stadium fights normal again. We all think, oh yeah, he's going to go on forever. But realistically, he is a human. That beatdown he took was a big one. And he's going to have to answer some real questions about himself as to whether he even wants to rematch, let alone think about winning the rematch. I mean, the only positive I can think of is, he was so bad in that first fight. It can't get much worse, right? From the first bell, before he got hit, he was all wrong. His hand position was wrong. He didn't look right. He looked nervous in his ring walk. So surely he can make improvements, right? But I just think Dubois is a real problem. He hits hard. He's got a really good gas tank, He went 10 rounds with Miller and then finished him off. Even with Lorena, he injured his Achilles. He got back up, knocked him down. Dubois is a problem, and Dubois is not going to put on loads of weight, party and drink for months like Ruiz did. You can't just jab Dubois for 12 rounds. So I think it's a big decision, one that AJ has to think very carefully about. And to be honest, I'm split because part of me is like, that would be the greatest story ever if you defeated Dubois after taking a beating like that. But part of me is like, I don't want to see you go down a Joyce type route where you take beatings, you don't know when to stop, and you start losing a lot of matches and people stop turning up to the events. A bit like Tony Ferguson in the UFC, It's still competitive, but not just quite at that good enough level. So yeah, I think it's a decision Anthony Joshua's got to think very hard about. From a sporting perspective, part of me is like, yeah, let's see this rematch. Imagine if AJ does it. But he took a beating. So part of me would be like, maybe your time's up, You've lost to Usyk twice. Now you've lost to Dubois. Are you still world level? Difficult question to ask. I've said that I wouldn't mind him taking a Joe Joyce fight just to end your career on a win, something like that, and then maybe walk off into the sunset, with his millions. But yeah, only AJ can really know that for himself. Has he got what it takes to step back into the ring again against the live lion, the Kingslayer, Daniel Dubois? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think at the moment, I would be like, I'm very hesitant to say yes. I'll be leaning more towards the no. I don't think you're world level anymore, as harsh as it sounds. I just don't know if you're there. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.